Hey everybody, happy Monday and thanks so much for stopping by. Right now we are going to be doing a tabletop review of the EDC-3. As part of that conversation, we're also going to have to talk about the EDC 2.7. So I guess starting off here with the EDC 2.7, we had originally developed this model. It had a machine fuller in the original concept, and then we wanted to make a full flat model. We've had a lot of requests for a really efficient couple of full flat design knives, just greater efficiency than what we're usually offering. So wanting to do that for people, we came up with the EDC-3. When we ran into the decarburization issue, we had already decided to move away from that machine fuller. So that's where these move through production without that feature in them. We found with the machine work and everything in there, it looked kind of cool, but it was counter to the functionality, and it was harder to keep it clean. As you're cutting things, it was had a tendency, we noticed with the EDC-4, it was packing debris and things into the fuller in some circumstances, and it was just a bit of a crumb and corrosion catcher. So we had already deleted that when the decarburization of these blades happened. So this situation actually gave us a chance to sort of reset the clock and start over. So we decided to salvage these by surface grinding a lot of the decarburization off down to where we could get really nice blades again that were flat and functional, and then we Cerakoted them to bring them up to an aesthetic standard. But now kind of starting over, we're moving away from that profile and consolidating everything down to this one EDC-3 profile. For you guys who have a 2.7 order, handles are the same. So what you are gaining is a 1/4 inch in length and a higher, slightly more functional profile, I think, for this knife. On this small knife, the situation with the EDC-3, it made a beautiful full flat, but then because of that, it made an awesome saber as well. It's very relaxed belly through here. So it was easy to get a really clean, nice saber on that, and then subsequently also a beautiful scandi. But looking at these knives, I don't think you're losing anything by consolidating to the one model, and as a result of sticking to this one template, we're going to be able to offer a ton of variety in the EDC series in a way that makes sense for us as well. So already you can see we've got 3 grind standards here. We have a lot of handle materials, and we're going to be getting a ton of different handle material varieties for EDC series. The way we've manufactured these, the handles are very swappable, so we'll be able to offer extra handles and things in a way that you can get them. They'll go on really nice and be up to the same standard as you'd expect from the factory. That also is going to lead to a lot of different sheath colors. These are nice little carryable things, so we want you to be able to mix and match without buying a whole new knife. So we're going to start offering more sheath colors and different carry options, more handle options, different surface finish options on these, just to give you guys just a nauseating amount of configurability on these. So jumping right into the tech specs here, I weighed all these on our little postal scale. Pardon me, I weighed all these on our little postal scale. That's our dryer unit on our compressor inside. It just pulses off every 10 minutes, so sorry about that. These models are, no matter how they're configured, this one weighed in at 3.3 ounces and this was 3.1 ounces. So all of these are going to be between 3 and 3.3 ounces. You might, in the heaviest configuration, actually no, this is the heaviest configuration. Maybe the Scandi's a little more, but you might break into 3.4 ounces. Yeah, so it's kind of waffling between 3.3 and 3.4 right now outside. So with the G10 handles that are more dense and the Scandi profile here that adds more meat and weight, you might get into the 3.4, 3.5 ounce range with that combination of things. But looking at the blades overall here, they are 6.9 inches from tip to tail and feature a 0.125 thick blade stock. So looking at these, it started out originally EDC-3 in the efficient full flat variant. We have a very delicate edge that'll bite into material without much effort, and pulling this grind really high up here increase the efficiency even further. You're not really splitting material apart very aggressively, so it's going to sink down into material without a lot of effort really far. Carrying that efficiency forward to the tip, we made no attempt to drag this grind out, so the blade tang starts tapering right about halfway through the blade. So that means we have a really efficient little tip profile here that's going to slide through material very nicely with a low amount of effort. We call this a full flat, and I think mathematically it's a lot of decimal places out true to being a full flat. We just left this one little land here so that you can clamp a sharpening clamp on here and maintain a good edge center. So that's the only reason that's out there. It shows off our technical precision in our witness matching and our plunge matching and everything, but it also gives a nice little land there just to be able to clamp any of the guided sharpening systems onto. That really gets my goat when the full flats come the whole way up, and there's not really any way, unless you take the handles off, to find a good edge center to get a true, 15 degrees aside or whatever without it being lopsided. A lot of those knives, they get into a clamp and tilt one way or the other, and you ended up really heavy-handed on one side and light on the other, and I just didn't want to have that for our full flat, so that's what it looks like for us. So this is very, very efficient. If you want efficiency with really good strength, we can go the European route here with the scandi ground version. This is extremely efficient on initial push cut penetration. I got to be careful here. Shaved some skin off earlier. This is very efficient at 11 degrees per side with no secondary bevel. It slides into things extremely easily. The carving and push cut penetration of this is phenomenal. The drawback here is also one of its strengths is you have all of this full thickness stock right here. So it's an extremely strong blade for a small knife in a very efficient grind profile. The only drawback is the wedginess, but you can't have strength without some material there. So you've got really good tip strength here, great efficiency, and just a nice overall package here with the scandi design. Best combo, I think, all around is our Saber ground variant here. This is a really clean Saber because of this nice long arced belly from originally designing this for the full flat. So this came out really nice. We've got good strong geometry for a knife this size, but it's still very efficient. You've got this acute tip here, still good cross section here for good tip strength. You can get into some things, dig around some rotted wood, probe around some things if you want without any worry about breaking that tip. But it is still thin enough to be able to efficiently do a pen stroke through things without that being a problem like a thicker knife would be. You still have the 125 to overcome up here at the spine, but this is a good balance, I think, of strength and efficiency in a small knife. So yeah, there's the EDC-3 knives as they are right now, and we'll keep you updated here as they're making their way out the door and we start expanding some of the options here. So anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you again soon.